Protect your child and suddenly you're the problem. It's one of the court's most dangerous twists, and today we're going to break that down. If you've ever raised concern about your child's safety in family court, you know the fear of being labeled the bad parent is real, and unfortunately, some abusive parents are weaponizing the term parental alienation in court to achieve this very outcome. By twisting the term alienation, they turn your protection into prosecution, making your care look like control and putting your bond with your child at risk. Hello and welcome back to Black Sheep Diaries, where the black sheep finally get the mic. I'm Nicole, and I've spent nearly 12 years and counting battling it out in family court. Not because I love litigation, but because defending myself and my children has unfortunately become our lifestyle. I am not an attorney, I just want to see protective parents get their fair chance in court. Some abusive parents often use a tactic called projection. This means they take their own harmful behaviors such as manipulation, control, emotional abuse, or whatever other bad behavior they display, and then accuse the protective parent of doing the exact same thing. So the very actions you take to protect your child are twisted in court to make it seem like you are the problem. It's not really that clever of a tactic, but when the court is new at understanding your case, it does create an alarming amount of confusion. Understanding this can help you recognize false claims of parental alienation for what they really are. First, let's look at why this type of parent uses projection in the first place. For starters, it deflects attention from their own harmful behavior because they do not want to be found out. And one of the ways they hide is to project their dangerous behavior onto you. Next, it's a great way to create confusion. The court and legal professionals may not see the underlying abuse right away. So when the confusion is produced, it will take that much longer to identify the real problem. It also undermines a protective parent, suddenly shifting the narrative so that they appear to be the source of the conflict rather than the one responding to it. Over time, this can erode their credibility, distort the child's perception of who is actually causing the harm, and create an environment where the parent who is trying to set healthy limits is painted as controlling or unreasonable. It can look like asking for supervised visits or limiting unsafe contact. And because it's the truth, the only defense is for that other parent to scream alienation. This tactic of parental alienation is being used against protective parents, especially when there has been abuse or if there is at least serious concern. So what can you do to protect yourself and your children from these false claims? Let's clarify what parental alienation is. It is generally understood to mean a situation where one parent works to turn a child against the other parent so that normal, reasonable contact breaks down. What this looks like in practice: the protective parent raises concerns of abuse or danger. The other parent counters with, "They're turning the child against me, they're interfering, they're alienating." The court or evaluators may treat alienation claims as a serious one, and because the stage has already been set through projection, the protective parent may end up having to defend themselves while the accusing parent remains in a stronger position. Meanwhile, the child is caught in the middle. The protective parent's relationship with that child can suffer. The misuse of parental alienation can be extremely damaging, especially for the child and the protective parent. Here are 4 red flags protective parents can be on the lookout for. Number 1, the combative parent accuses you of alienating the child almost immediately when you raise concerns about them. Number 2, the accusing parent is undermining your authority, telling the child you don't know what you're doing, you're unsafe, you're not their parent anymore, and so on. Number 3, the projecting parent controls or severely limits your access to your child and uses excuses like, "Oh, your child's tired, their phone is dead, they don't want to talk," and so on. And they do this to prevent your contact with them. Red flag number 4, professionals, evaluators, therapists seem to side aggressively with the other parent or treat your safety concerns as just part of the conflict. So what can you start doing when these false accusations come flying your way? And before I give you these steps, remember this: these steps are going to take a lot of effort on your part, but your child's safety depends on it, and so does your case. Number 1, keep detailed records of your concerns. dates, incidences, who did what, witnesses, and so on. Save all communications, text, emails, voicemails, that show the other parent's attempt to block your contact with your child. Number 2, maintain logs of your contact with your child. Visits, calls, cancellations, excuses, and access attempts. Third one, if your child says something about you that surprises you, such as, "You never wanted me," write it down, the date, the time, what was said, and the context it was said in. This next one is a big one, and it's a lot easier said than done, but it's really important. Avoid engaging in a tit-for-tat with the other parent or resorting to mirroring their bad behavior. Number 5, it's really important to find a family law attorney who knows the misuse of parental alienation claims. The best way to do this is to get referrals. If you need to, contact a therapist or mental health professional who understands parental alienation dynamics and can help you and your child navigate what's really going on. Emphasize to the therapist or mental health professional, whoever you choose, that your primary goal is to protect your child's safety and their well-being. And lastly, be prepared to show concrete instances of your child's distress, fear, or being withdrawn when interacting with the other parent or when your contact with your child was being blocked. The longer alienation goes unchallenged, the deeper it takes root. If you see the signs, you need to act fast. Some good resources for educating yourself on the tactics are to listen to family law attorney Rebecca Zung and psychologist Dr. Ramani. They are both highly educated on this topic, so use them to educate yourself. So what can you do right now if you're watching this and suspect you may be in this situation? First, check for the red flags that we just outlined. Next, just take one step today. Start a documentation log or schedule a consult with a lawyer or a therapist who understands these tactics. Be proactive by educating yourself on this topic. Approaches to alienation vary by court, but the focus should always be on concrete behavior and their effect on your child. If you found this to be helpful, please like, share, comment below. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast to bring awareness to how you have navigated through this tactic in court, reach out to us at our contact information in the description below. We also have a video coming out on the history of parental alienation and the disturbing details of its birth. And remember, it's not a crime to protect your child.